How we becoming ideal citizens of our nations in the light of Thakur, Anukul Chandra's teaching. Jai Guru everyone. To be an ideal person, we need to be concentric on an ideal person in life. First, we need to know what is called ideal. Ideal means a person or thing regarded as perfect, most suitable, most acceptable, a model of something perfect, a standard of perfection or excellence. On a large scale, ideals refer to universal principles, such as love, peace, justice, compassion, integrity, freedom, honesty, and respect for human rights. These are the values that are beneficial to make a good relationship with family members, friends, and people in society. To be an ideal citizen of a nation, we need to have an ideal-centric life. And we need to be concentric on an ideal person who embodies qualities and values that inspire admiration and respect. This individual can guide us towards becoming a better person of ourselves. Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, born in India, 1888, when British was governing India, and he passed away in 1969. If we go through his 81 years of life and teaching, then we can see his entire life and teaching was the best example of an ideal person. Thakur Anukul Chandra wanted us to become an ideal person, and his entire life was a demonstration of how we can be a perfect human being for the nation. If we accept Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra as an ideal person in our life, and if we love him, then we can implement his characteristics in our life. If we really love him, then we can learn how to love and respect our parents, elders, people in the community. And we can characterize the concept of helping people in society. Also spread Thakur's ideology to society to make a universal brotherhood. There are thousands of examples that prove that Thakur Anukul Chandra is a living embodiment of love. I am giving one example of his student's life. Thakur Anukul Chandra was going to school to pay the fees for his school, final examination of year 10. On the way, he met his classmate who was so poor and was crying next to the path. Young Anukul Chandra wanted to know why he was crying. The poor boy replied that he didn't have enough money to pay the fees for his final examination. As a result, he would not be able to give the examination. Young Anukul Chandra was full of empathy and sympathy and felt his and classmates' pain. And then Thakur gave his own fees to that poor fellow to pay his fees. So nothing was left over for Anukul Chandra to pay his own fees, as his parents had no extra money to give him again. So the young Anukul Chandra couldn't sit for this final school examination in his life. This is an example of the man for society, man for nation, an ideal person to consider as an ideal centric. That's why I accepted him as my ideal person. Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra said to create a good culture in the family to get a better child. So now it's our time to accept Sri Sri Thakur Anukul Chandra, to know how to create a good culture in the family to get a better child for our family, society, and nation. Jai Guru.